Tim Braun from Yahoo Sports baseball columnist, Yahoo yesterday, attaching Braun's name to that growing list. And Tim joins us now. Summarize this story with Ryan Braun, Tim, if you can.
Well, Dan, it's actually two fairly simple parts. After we obtained the documents that obviously the Miami New Times had made famous or infamous, depending on which angle you're coming at this from, those documents showed that Ryan Braun, along with a handful of other players, were somehow connected with Tony Bosch with this biogenesis clinic, and two, that MLB would be now investigating Braun and those other players as they were the original players in the original report. Now, according to the documents we got, Ryan Braun was not listed as, say, Alex Rodriguez was, next to performance-enhancing drugs or schedules or payments or things like that. But he is in this document and therefore becomes exposed to this MLB investigation. That's basically our story.
But you hear his excuse, his explanation, his name, and just being in the books themselves. How does he explain it, and are you buying what he's explaining?
Well, Ryan Braun's explanation is that his lawyers recommended Tony Bosch as a consultant during his appeal from last winter when he had tested for raised levels of testosterone, fought that on appeal, and won on the chain of custody argument. And what he says now is that Bosch was part of that team that aided him in the appeal that was ultimately successful. This morning, I got a note from one of his lawyers, and there were others who helped him in that appeal, and David Cornwell, who said, I was not familiar with Tony Bosch prior to Ryan Braun's case, and he went on to explain that he uses another group in these cases, and he concludes by saying, Bosch was introduced to me at the earliest stage of Ryan's case. I found Bosch's value to be negligible. And thereafter, I followed my prior practice of relying on the other guys. So, I think that it's certainly plausible that Tony Bosch was part of this team that helped Ryan Braun in his appeal. If it were me, I'm not sure that's where I would go for my expert in fighting MLB in these charges. I think I might go to a licensed doctor for one, or an endocrinologist, or someone who really had some sway in this field. But, I think this all plays out now. We'll see where the MLB investigation takes us.
What's next?
Great question. I think there are other names. I do not have all of the documents that the Miami New Times had. I think there are other names in the pages of those documents. I think we see more from the MLB investigation. And I think you see more reporters like myself rooting around trying to find out what's going on. I was talking to an MLB official today, and it's, we compared it to, almost like this, your town sewer system where everything seems so fine, but there is this undercurrent of stuff out there, and there are more clinics like this, and there are more players taking advantage, and it's still out there.
But why are the names being leaked out slowly? This is like water torture, not a guillotine. Why not everybody at the same time?
Yeah, I think it always works this way. I think partly because the Miami New Times decided that some of these names did not reach their threshold, whatever that may be, of reporting it. I think we decided it reached ours when Braun became subject to this investigation. And the Miami New Times did not have that information at the time. Today you saw the Miami New Times came out and said, yes, these documents that Yahoo got matched ours. And I think it continues like this. I think it depends on, I think a lot of people grinding to find out the truth, whatever that may be.
You're seeing some former Miami Hurricanes players being lumped in here together, guys who played at Miami. I'm just connecting the dots here of former teammates there and the list, how many are on the list. I was told there's probably 10 more names on the list. I was told there was one more big name on the list, and this was last week that I was told it was going to happen on Monday or Tuesday. So happened on Tuesday, and it was just Ryan Braun as far as the big name goes. But if you're Major League Baseball, we've been down the road before here. How much do you want to find out? And at what point do you say we welcome the feds and Congress getting involved in this?
Well, my sense is that they're very eager to root this out. And I don't believe, I think we lived through a period where MLB was almost embarrassed when guys were caught, when these reports came out. But I do think they're very attuned to attempting to do all they can. And obviously it's a real moving target. So, I think that, without subpoena power, without sworn testimony, those sorts of things, I think ultimately the federal investigations, while they lead to this very convoluted, drawn out, these affairs with Roger Clemens, say, or Barry Bonds, are difficult to live through. And I think by the time they're ended, people are just tired of the whole process. And they wonder if really, is this the business our government should be in? Should we be spending taxpayer dollars to chase down a utility infielder? But I do think they benefit MLB's investigation because of that subpoena power.
Tim, good to visit with you. Great job. We'll continue reading.
Enjoyed it, Dan. Have a great day.
All right. Tim Braun, Yahoo Sports.